Hey there, everybody. My name is George. I'm the founder here at Extension Ecom, and today I'm going to walk you through how to grow your Amazon business by 250,000 to 500,000 plus in the next 4 months. And to give you some proof that I know what I'm talking about, I'm not just making things up. Here is some graphs directly from Seller Central showing how we grew Athletic Annex by 475,000 from 1.4 million to 1.878 million in the first 60 days partnering. Next up, we have a graph showing how we grew IPW Industries by 250,000, going from 1 mil to 1.27 mil in the first 90 days partnering. And then we have Farm to Pet, who we've been partnered with for over 2 years, and how we grew them from 600K to 1 million in H1 of last year. So those are just a couple quick proof points for you. But overall, we support 36 businesses on the Amazon platform, doing about 91.2 million in annualized revenue to strategize, execute, and ultimately grow their sales. And here's really what I've learned the recipe for success is. So first off, you need to start with a strategy. Once you have your strategy built out, then you need to execute, and that really comes down to driving more traffic, converting more often, and being able to fulfill the orders. Lastly, is you can't do all the work. You need a team of specialists who are best in class at what they do to execute on your behalf while you focus on bigger decisions. So let's chat through how to build a strategy. Well, first thing we want to do is we want to get an understanding of your ASINs priorities. So your tier 1 ASINs should make up 5% or more of your sales. Your tier 2 ASINs will make up 1 to 5% of your sales, and your tier 3 ASINs will make up less than 1% of your sales. Once you have your ASINs tiered out, then you want to make a timeline for improvements. So develop a weekly timeline that will drive improvements starting with your tier 1 ASINs and then work its way down to the tier 3. What you want to do is you want to go by ASIN and further enhance the SEO of the listing so that you can index for more keywords. You want to clean up the PPC for that ASIN, and you want to also launch best-in-class campaigns to drive more traffic profitably. And then lastly, you want to optimize your click-through rate to get more people. If you keep the same amount of impressions, if you keep the same conversion rate, if more people click, you just make more money, right? It's that simple. So now that we've gotten shoppers to the listing, then we need to convert those shoppers. So that really comes down to creating a timeline to improve listing conversion through creative updates, such as images, video, A+ content, brand story, analyzing your price, making sure you're competitive, and then also ratings and reviews. So here's a strategy example. Let me go ahead and switch this into presentation mode so it's a little bit bigger. So here you can see this brand has a wide spread of revenue across a ton of ASINs, with their top seller doing roughly 50,000 in revenue, and a bunch of bottom sellers doing anywhere from 1 to 3,000 a month in revenue. So the reason why this is important is if we just grow this ASIN up here, it's going to generate an outsized return for the brand. So the number one thing you want to do is start here, and you want to go ahead and launch those PPC campaigns, launch that SEO, and then clean up your creative. So the inputs are new PPC campaigns, new SEO, and new creative, which generate the outputs of increased paid traffic profitably, increased keyword relevancy, quantity of words indexed, and rank, in addition to driving more shoppers to your listing through click-through rate and converting them often more through conversion rate optimization. So now that you have come up with a general game plan of what you want to be focused on, when you want to be focused on it, you need to start with the SEO and PPC, the first portion, which is drive traffic. So when it comes to SEO, that's really enhancing your titles, your bullets, your alt text, your backend search terms, etc. You know the drill. And really, you should be looking at your character count per field. So your titles should have up to 200 characters. Your bullets should have 350 to 500 characters. Your generic keywords should have 248 to 250 keywords. And your alt text should have 98 to 100 keywords. So once you've done an analysis and you've identified where you have room to increase character count, you then want to utilize Helium 10 Cerebro to analyze what shoppers are currently looking for. So go ahead and take 9 competitors' ASINs and your own and input them into Helium 10 and identify all the terms that are relevant for you, all the misspellings, all the Spanish keywords, etc. Then you want to input only your ASIN into Cerebro, and you want to pull for organic rank. See what you're indexing for, see what you're ranking for, and see what you have potential to appear on top of search for. Once you've analyzed your listing, now you want to analyze the words that are in your titles, your bullets, your generic keywords, and your alt text, and look to see what are you including and what are you missing. Finally, once you have all of that information in place, then you want to go ahead and actually enhance your listing. So update the fields to include top search terms you found, some hyper-specific terms that you want to rank better for, and then some miscellaneous terms that you just want to index for, and you put those on the back end. And that's the bonus there, misspelling Spanish, etc. So here's an example of a brand that we analyzed. Let me go ahead and present this one as well, make it a little bit bigger for you all. You can see on the left-hand side here, they only had 650 total characters across their title, their bullets, and their alt text. You can almost get more characters in just one bullet than they had in their whole listing here. So once we understand how many characters are missing, then we can go ahead and start doing our research. You can see that there is a lot of terms out there that are directly related to their product that they don't have in their title or their bullets. And a majority of the keywords in their niche, they're not ranking for. So we really want to make sure that we are refreshing their listing and getting it up to best practice. So here's what this would look like. You would go ahead and take the title and get it to that 200 character count. And everything in green is going to be search terms that they do want to index for and they do want to rank for. So you're going to repeat the process by identifying 5 unique selling points. So authentic Indian chai experience, no preservatives, all natural, instant, packets, right? So once you have your unique selling points and benefits, then you build out the paragraph on the back end, which is going to combine some filler words to help it flow, help it be grammatically correct, but also have a ton of those high search term words in there so that they can appear in the right spots. Next up is you're going to have PPC. So PPC is going to be really broken into 2 steps. First, you need to clean up your console, and second, you need to add a new campaign creation. So when you're cleaning up your console, you really want to pull your search term report. And once you've done so, you want to analyze the report to look for a couple different things. One is going to be wasteful spend, which is going to be no conversion, so high click, no conversion. The next is going to be spend that is almost within goal, but not quite. That's going to be high A costs, but it's generating sales. And then lastly, just completely irrelevant terms. So once you've identified the wasteful targets, if they are completely wasteful, as in high click, no conversion, or irrelevant, you want to go ahead and remove them from your campaigns. So for exact match keywords, just pause them. And then for phrase match and broad match, add them as a negative exact. For anything where you notice that there's a general trend, right? Let's say every gifting keyword is not converting across a wide variety of keywords, but a small quantity of clicks per keyword, well, then you'd want to use negative phrase to get rid of all gifting terminology. So once you've gone ahead and cleaned up and negated things, then you want to go ahead and look at what campaigns need to be launched. So in order to generate profitable sales on Amazon, you need to start with the bottom portion of the funnel and work yourself up to the top portion of the funnel. So that starts with loyalty. So loyalty is shoppers that love your product and they're coming back for more. So they need to be visible to make it, so we need to be visible, you need to be visible to make it easy as possible for shoppers to buy your product. For example, if I'm searching for Ghost Energy and their listings split up into 35 variations and half of them are out of stock and I can't find the flavor I want, maybe I'll just go buy a Celsius energy drink instead because I also like Celsius. It's not necessarily a guarantee that people are going to exclusively buy your product just because they search for you. You need to make it as easy and simple as possible for them to find you and purchase from you. Once you have loyalty taken care of, then you need to graduate into the purchase portion of the funnel. And these are people looking for your exact product. So these shoppers will buy immediately if they come across your listing. However, if they never see you, they cannot buy from you. Additionally, if they are searching for your exact product and not converting often enough, you have a listing issue, not a targeting issue, not an advertising issue. You need to go fix your listing. Now, this is going to help you grow your market share. And then finally, you have consideration. And these are going to be shoppers who are looking in your market, but they're not actively searching for your exact product. They're searching general terms. They're searching at the category level. And maybe they'll buy from you right now because they are kind of browsing and they're, potentially going to spend some money. But maybe they'll buy from you in the future. They've seen you 10 times, they remember your brand, and they decide to check you out. Well, they can't do either if they never see you. So here you want to graduate to once your lower portion of the funnel is in a healthy spot. Because what will happen is you'll be generating more revenue through getting your loyalty and your purchase dialed in. That'll drive down your total advertising cost of sale. And then you can graduate into the consideration bucket, which will drive your total advertising cost of sale back up. But the trade-off will be you'll get more exposure, which will then end up in more total profit, right? Your total quantity of profit will go up. Your profit margin, your profit percentage will fluctuate. So once you understand the funnel, it's time to build out those campaigns. So I'll give you a couple quick examples here. Here's PPC Cleanup, a brand that I worked with and am actively working with and audited. You can see here 257 clicks resulted in $103 in spend, resulted in $0 in sales. You can just kind of go down the list all the way to $30 plus, where they have spent a ton of cash here, maybe $500+ that resulted in no money. So we can go ahead and just clean that up and get rid of it. Everything else might need a little bit more clicks to become a statistically significant sample size. So then we'd want to shift next to, like I mentioned before, those terms that are generating a high quantity of sales and they aren't doing it profitably, and do some bid decreases. And then lastly, we'd want to analyze for anything completely irrelevant. So once we've cleaned it up, then we want to go ahead and build out our strategy. So we have loyalty on the right-hand side here. That's going to be those branded terms. Again, if they can't find us, they might just buy from someone else. Then you have your purchase terms, right? Anybody going after the 3D printer, glue stick, adhesive market, we want to capture them. We want to grow our market share here for exact phrase and broad. Then you have your auto campaign. We can go ahead and identify all of our competitor ASINs. And then I misspelled this one. It is a rank campaign, not a catch-all campaign. But if we're ranked 12 for 3D printer glue on 3,000 searches a month, if we could go from 12 to 8 or 12 to 6 or 12 to 4, right, that would greatly benefit our organic sales and drive down our TACoS. ACoS on this campaign might not be beautiful, but the goal isn't ACoS. So that's how you'd go ahead and cleaning up and setting up your campaigns. Next up is we'd want to analyze our creative and see, is click-through rate or conversion rate the larger constraint in our business currently? So you're going to go ahead and pull the data, and then you're going to identify the underperforming one. And if click-through rate is the issue, you're going to analyze your main image. And if conversion rate is the issue, you're going to analyze your supporting images, A+ content, video, brand story, and more. So for the main image checklist, we want to include a high search volume keyword that is in large font. We want to showcase your product outside of the package. You want to make sure the package is there as well. Make sure the shopper can easily understand the quantity and have minimal white space. For supporting images, the best practices are to have infographics and lifestyle imagery paired together to highlight your unique selling points and your benefits, and also to highlight social proof so that people feel like they can trust in an expert and purchase your product. So once we've kind of gone through our checklist and we've analyzed our listings, then we can start to build out our new ones, and it's time to A/B test, right? So you're going to launch a new main image, and for click-through rate, it's really going to be best done through launching it directly into your console and analyzing the click-through rate change within your console, your advertising console specifically, compared to the prior period. So you're at 14 days prior to launching the main image, upload the main image, check out the 14 days after, and see how click-through rate trends. For conversion rate, you should really be utilizing Amazon's manager experiments to properly A/B test conversion rate over an extended period of time. And Amazon will give you data showing whether or not it is or isn't converting more often. So I'll give you a quick sample here of the analysis. So here you can see we're analyzing click-through rate versus conversion rate. In this case, click-through rate was actually pretty solid, but conversion rate, they had a best-in-class main image. However, their supporting images weren't that great, and going from 12.6 to 16% did seem realistic based on the updates that we could make. So we wanted to focus on this, knowing that, hey, a 30% increase here is just going to result in more sales for the business, right? Okay, we went all the way back to the top. So once we've identified, like, hey, conversion rate is the low-hanging fruit, right? Our main image is pulling all the levers. It has the packaging. It has the accessories. It has the keyword. It's been optimized 10 times. And conversion rate, the listings aren't up to best practice. Well, we want to go look at the competition and see what they're doing. So here, this would be for a freeze-dried dog food example, right? We have Primal, and then we have Stella and Chewy, and we see what they are doing. We see what they're calling out. We see how they're positioning their images. We see the color selection, and we can get a feel for what we would need to do in order to be competitive within the space. Let me exit that presentation mode. And then once we have our idea, we'd go ahead and launch it and see, hey, what is the conversion rate difference? So you can see conversion for this A/B test increased by 0.0491%, resulted in 22 more units sold, $659 in sales. Right, so over the course of a year, this really is going to add up here, and it's a smaller sample size, right? So as the sample size grows, these numbers get better and better, right? Now, the reason why you would only want to A/B test the conversion rate here, not the listing image, is because you can see there's no click-through rate data. Next up, you'll have fulfillment. So fulfillment can be broken into many different factors, but here are the 3 key factors. So first of all, you need to stay in stock. So check your inventory reports every Monday and make sure you're shipping your products in on time. So define, what's my lead time, what's my days of coverage, how many units am I selling, and just get more stock in. Next up is going to be winning your buy box. So check your buy boxes every Monday and Thursday to make sure no resellers are jumping in. Make sure no price changes randomly resulted in a loss of buy box, etc. If you're not winning the buy box, you just can't sell product. Then lastly is merge your ASINs properly. So you need to always merge your ASINs with relevant variations. Variations are going to increase the total sales of the listing, which will result in better rank because rank is most closely tied to sales. Secondly, it's going to sum your review count and it's going to average it, which is going to just give more proof to the customer and it'll generate more trust. And then lastly, variations make it easier for a consumer to navigate through your products, improving the customer experience and your conversion rate. So here's a quick example of how to stay in stock. So we use inventory reports every single Monday, and then we directly write out within Slack, hey, this ASIN has that many days to cover, this many units are remaining. It's this tier of ASINs, please ship it in. We'll also call out the unfulfillable inventory, and then we'll provide the reporting, which works backwards from days of cover, right? So this brand requested anything less than 30 days of cover to send them a report. And you would want to do the same for your brand. Next up, merging ASINs, right? So the blue is tracking organic rank. So you can see this product's kind of just growing organic rank, etc. And then boom, nosedive. This was done by merging the ASINs into one proper variation, which brought down the rank significantly because what happens is Amazon's analyzing a listing's total sales. So then as you add in a ton of different listings, the total sales improves. So as the total sales improves, Amazon re-ranks the product. So what ended up happening here is this product actually ended up jumping all the way to the number one BSR just through merging the listing correctly. For resellers, you want to be checking because you need to submit a case to brand registry, and you can also directly email them and ask them to get off the listing. But if you don't catch it for a week, they're just sitting on your listing stealing the sales for a week. Especially if you have a listing with heavy on variations and you're pushing a bunch of ads to those variations, you could spend for somebody to click on your ad to your listing and then somebody buys your resellers. Not necessarily ideal, right? So you want to keep that clean. You want to keep a high buy box win rate. And that's really going to be everything for fulfillment. So really that just comes down to specialists. So our team structure. So first of all, we have our account managers who operate as strategic consultants. So they build out the strategy. They give you the perspective of multiple brands. And you're going to need somebody to handle the high level strategy. But you're also going to need people in the day-to-day of the operation executing. So that would be a PPC specialist. So that PPC specialist should be setting up, managing, and optimizing your ad consoles to help your business grow profitably. So you should provide them with two goals, budget and then efficiency. And then they need to work backwards from those numbers to bring in net new shoppers. Next up is going to have somebody to do keyword research, ASIN research, SEO enhancements, handle reporting, and our marketing assistant team does that. Then you need the catalog manager to handle the operation side of the business, right? So everything on the back end from listing new ASINs to merging ASINs to brand registry, etc. And then lastly, you're going to need some sort of design PM to go ahead and handle all of your creative, right? Work with your creative team, get it A to Z completed, get it to best practice, get it submitted, get it online. So yeah, overall, your growth starts today, right? Start by building out the strategy, start by building out the team, and then have them execute on your behalf. And, if you're looking for a team to do it, we can definitely support. We generated 1.6 million growth in 70 days for this business that we were supporting. They went from 6.1 million prior to us to 7.71 million with us. And the year prior, they saw a decline during that period of time, right? 4.9 down to 4.7. So it wasn't just a seasonal bump. 283 growth here in 5 months for a business we supported. Currently still do support. 312K prior to us, 600,000 with us. 470,000 growth in 5 months, 1.2 up to 1.7, and then 100K growth from 70 up to 174. So really, if you are interested, there will be booking call links on the website. Go to extensionecom.com. We can help you out. We can get your business sorted and grow you by 250,000 to 500,000 plus over the next 4 months. Thanks, and have a wonderful rest of your day.